You know, yesterday the governor said something about firing people. I think that's a very good thing because it's honest and it's real. We should, because firing means accountability. And when he's running for president of the United States. He's not running for CEO of a private company. When he says firing people, he's talking about the bureaucracy that is stifling our ability to grow. And we should hold everyone accountable. And if they're not doing a good job in serving the people of the United States, they should be fired. And I think his first firing is going to be President Barack Obama.
But do you think that the people at the steel mill or the paper mill that lost their jobs are the people that are going to listen to that and think firing is a good thing? Because ultimately, if Mitt Romney wants to secure their vote, he needs to reassure them that he's going to help in job creation. And the fact that he's tried to frame the Bain narrative as something that wasn't about wealth gaining, it was more about job creation, isn't that wrong?
Well, no, because if you look at the overall stats, you showed the stats of the companies that failed. How about all the companies that made it? Like I said, the Staples and the Domino's and the Sports Authorities. Many, many thousands of people were hired because of those successes. Now, when we look at those in the steel mills and so on, I think what the problem that this country has had is that too much government intervention, too much government regulation. That's what's preventing jobs. Right. That's what's firing them.
But isn't what's wrong, though, because according to the LA Times, Congressman, 4 of the 10 companies that Bain invested and filed for bankruptcy. However, Bain still made a profit on 3 of them. Still made a profit on 3 out of 4 companies that went bankrupt. So how are you able to justify that to an American public that's out of work, that's been out of work continually, knowing that this was Bain's objective was wealth management for their investors? It was not job creation.
Right, but again, to be effective at wealth management, first of all, we're almost, it sounds like we're trying to say that capitalism and wealth management is a bad thing, that success is a bad thing.
It's not, it's just trying to define whether or not he's a job creator, and you're just saying that he's about wealth management. So you agree that he's about wealth management.
Well, what I'm saying is his job at Bain Capital was certainly part of creating wealth for the investors. That was the job, and they were successful at it, which is a good thing. However, to be successful at wealth management, you have to understand how the economy works, how the private sector works. He obviously does, and I think that knowledge of the private sector and how capitalism works is going to help him create jobs as the President of the United States, because, again, he knows that the answer is not the government. It's the government sometimes getting out of the way and letting the private sector do what it does. And that also means that he's not going to pick winners and losers as the President of the United States. That's extremely important, and a stark contrast from President Obama right now that thinks that it is okay for the federal government to pick winners and losers.